Have you done a Facebook Live before? Huh? Not right. Okay. So there's always a first time to everything.
Okay, so we are live, I guess. Can any one of you just confirm if you can hear us speak?
Maybe you see the number of participants. No.
Okay, can any of you leave a comment or directly messages if you can see us live so that we can start off. I'm gonna give 30 seconds because apparently there is a deferred live here.
I'm still struggling to see where you would see the. Okay, when do we figure out when to start this?
Yeah, I'm going to call out a name, Sushant. Can you just let us know if we are seen and can we start?
Since we're live.
Okay, thanks, Sushant. Okay, so we'll officially start off. So, hi everybody. This is Archana, and this is my better half, always, Hari. We have signed up for Living My Promise, essentially about last May or June. Yeah, so we signed up last year sometime, and we just wanted to share our thoughts on why did we sign up, why did we do it now when we still have black hair on
I
our
have a
heads.
few less.
Yeah, so just wanted to share a few thoughts on why we kind of did it now, and also hope to be able to. Thanks, Kiran. So, hope to be able to answer any questions that you guys might have on why we made the decision, and just have a very free-flowing discussion. That's what we're looking at. While everybody joins in as well, I also want to kind of introduce Living My Promise, which I think is personally for both of us. I feel like this is something that every one of us in a gifted situation should think about very actively. But I just wanted to introduce the movement itself. So we all know about the biggies, the big shots of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett with billions and billions of monies. Saying that they will want to give 50% or more of their wealth away for a cause. Living My Promise was simply the movement where it said that how about we people who may not be as wealthy as them, but who are in the right kind of frame of mind, also come forward and make the same promise. We have a comfortable life. We are gifted than a lot of people in the country. So why don't we also make the same promise in saying that we will provide for our own family, definitely starting from there, but also provide for those who are not coming from such a gifted situation that we are. So the idea itself is that anybody who has a net worth of more than a crore, can they think about making a promise or stating their intention to give 50% or more of their net worth for any charitable cause that they feel most close to. So Hari and I decided to say that yes, and also share it with everybody else who definitely are givers themselves, but to also make it a giving plan for their life. And not just for the short or medium term, that which is where we were when we came across this movement. So yeah, so that's about it. And the website is livingmypromise.org. Definitely go there and read about what it is about, and what it means to you as a person and who are the others, and feel free to reach out to everybody who you think um, you know reach out to anybody on the list who you think you want to ask questions to, including us. So yeah. You want to add something?
No, I think for us it was more about taking. This gives us a bit of a structure, I think. I mean, so if we try to think about giving in terms of you see a lot of things happening around you. India, there's no shortage of problems in our country, in our society, in the areas we live as well. So I'm sure all of us are doing a little bit every day. We are giving some sums. You're helping out the person who helps you at home, your driver, everybody. I mean, each one of you, each one of us is doing a bit of our part, and that all contributes towards giving. Um, now, why then go ahead and put a structure, put a name to this relationship, if I would put it that way? Then, so I think what this has helped us do is to just think of what, just try to put a structure around it. When I'm saying structure, it's a big word, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that we're just trying to think of how we can give in a better way, in a more just take some time to think about what causes are close to us, what really we want to do, what about where is what the passions which we have in terms of the social sector, where does that fit into the um, um, overall monies which we have been giving. So I think that's why Living a Promise has been useful.
So I'm going to jump into it now, assuming that a lot of you would have joined by now. We have been the Living My Promise. There's a small team there, like very committed people, including Sushant, who I had asked in the first place. So they have sent us a few questions, on thoughts that we could share. So I will read out the question. So given that there is no third party, I'm going to be the interviewer and he's going to be the responder. So I'm going to throw the questions at him and then I will chip in wherever I can, if there is a need, because he's a lot more articulate than me. So yeah, I'm going to ask you a question, Hari. Be ready. We are parents of two very young children. My children are 6.5 and 4 years old. And yet you made a choice to make philanthropy as a life goal. What made you ready for this commitment so early on in your life?
Yeah, I think firstly, philanthropy is a very big and intimidating word. If you say that philanthropy, बड़े-बड़े लोग करते हैं, हम तो we go to work on a daily basis, get a salary, and
just to be not regionally inclined, பெரிய பெரிய ஆட்கள்லாம் பண்ணுவாங்க.
Yeah, so it's I don't see it as a philanthropy in the sense that I mean Forbes puts out a philanthropist list, and no, we're not that. We're just looking to whatever little we're earning, just trying to keep it aside. But the question is very valid. Parents to two very young children, 4 and 6 years of age. So it is a question actually which I also had. Why are we doing this? So I think what. So again, this gets back to what we had said earlier. We are anyway doing good things for the society. we are already putting aside money on a yearly basis towards various causes. It may be some of it is structured. So structured means you're giving to, say, some XYZ organization. There's some flood which happens in the country, you give for towards that. You give to various other causes. Some of it is planned, some of it is unplanned, like in PM cares, to just give an example for the coronavirus. People have contributed to that. Um, so we're all philanthropists in that sense, but so we are so philanthropy is already a life goal for many of us. It is a part of the way we live, but the living by promise goes one step further. It puts an end to it. It says that 50% of your wealth over and after your lifetime, and that is what it is. So it is during the course of your life, which is means that there are expenses for our children, for us. We have commitments, we have responsibilities, which we have to fulfill, and we are fully aware of that. But it does not mean that we are blind and oblivious to what is happening around us. It is not, and none of us are. We are all in this particular. We are already on this journey, whether we like it or not. So. I think that is already there.
Sorry, we have the viral BBC video seems to be happening. We are in a meeting, so step out, please. Yeah, sorry. The threat of the live BBC video coming going on. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So despite the commitment does not exclude the existing responsibility. I think that is what is very clear about it. It includes it in your decision. It includes it in all the steps that you will take from here till the eventual death, which all of us will face. So it's about trying to determine how much you want to give now, how much you want to plan to give away later, and putting just an idea around it, thinking about these things, thinking about whether you want to do these things at all, and whether and how you will go about doing it. So I think that's the idea.
So I'll actually add just a small context. Both our parents, they did a fabulous job in telling us that at the end of the day, one, that they are giving, I mean, they did provide and they did a lot of things just beyond providing education, but they did a fabulous job in telling us how we need to make our own lives to whatever we wanted it to be. And that kind of when you know when we say that there are two very young children at our home and they need to be also looked after, we are hoping that we can do what our parents did for us in telling them that our wealth is not what they can be dependent on or build their life on. We definitely will want to provide as much as we can in terms of the launch pad, but what they make of their life is also their own strengths that they bring. So living my promise actually has given us the structure in terms of saying how do you bring up your child knowing this in the kind of current scenario that we are living in. Our families came from the middle class background and we did not, I mean, the state of living that we have is slightly more than standard of living that we have is slightly more than what our parents did. So living my promise has also made us kind of think through how do you instill the values that our parents instilled in us when we grew up. So okay, should we move on?
Yeah.
So the next question that we were given, and I'm not going to use the word philanthropy anymore.
Yes,
it's just too intimidating. Yes. So how did you plan for this decision to commit to giving back? I'm going to just say giving back. Did you account for all your financial needs?
Yes. So how did we plan? I think again it goes back to what we have been saying. I think a lot of us already give to various causes, and when we use big terms like causes, I think again I'm sorry.
Very sorry about that.
Yeah,
Sorry about
sorry.
that.
Yeah, so we had planned for. I mean, when it talking about planning, it is part of it is already happening, and that's a bit which I've already spoken about. Um, all of us are already giving, so this actually forced us to think about what exactly are we doing consciously and on a day-to-day basis. So it allows us to think really. I mean, so if you're saying 50%, so the question is how much are we giving today? And I'm sure most of us don't think about that, but it's a good question to think about. Um, so that is definitely one aspect. The other is on your financial needs. Yes, um, this is not about excluding what our financial needs are. Swami Vivekananda, I think, had said that first you, and many other philosophers have said that you first look after yourself and then look to help others. And selfishly or otherwise, that is the way I think most of us should and will look at it. So it is not at the expense of the financial needs. It is over and above what your needs are. Having said that, we'll come to it a bit later, but this has also maybe forced us to think about some of what our needs versus our wants are.
Yeah. So Hari has painted the big picture, but we did, we also did a bit of work when we were thinking through, even before we signed up, we thought through, what is it that we need to think through in terms of our life needs are, and not beyond the needs, but what the needs are for a comfortable life. When I say needs, I don't mean that you drill down what you the standard of living itself, or go step down from the standard of living that we have, but from a comfortable life, which is in our heads as well as to what is comfort. What is it that we need? Both of us like Excel, so we did some Excel giddy as well, and said that these are the needs and these are the contingencies that we need to plan for. For example, we did up our insurance that we would take at this life stage versus what we had done earlier. So, in fact, which is also a positive thing, because it allowed us, living my promise actually allowed us to think through those contingencies as well, in terms of, say, if we both were not around, what would happen, and those kind of things as well, and structure the plan.
Just another point on that is that there are a lot of tools available online nowadays. If you go online, I'm sure you search for it, you'll find these tools which will just tell you how much money you really need to plan for in terms of retirement, for example. What kind of a retirement corpus do you need if you choose to retire, say, today, if you choose to retire 5 years later, 10 years later, 50, 60, whatever age which you choose? What is the kind of corpus which you need? And that's part of the financial planning decision um, which you will do as a part of this, and that gives you a kind of a outcome also, and helps you plan for philanthropy.
Okay. So, moving to the next question, does commitment to giving back mean a complete sacrifice on any other life plans or goals?
Um, See, on our life plans or goals, see, we still want to educate our kids. Let's start off with that. We still want to lead healthy lives. We still want to take care of our parents. We still want to live relatively comfortable life where all our needs are met. So I think it definitely has. It is not at the exclusion of that. Again, just getting to that point. But you are looking to, and when you are wealth planning, essentially it comes out of savings. So there's two components to it. One is your savings for what you think you will need later on. Part of it is towards what you want to give today, and then part of it is at the end of it, what is the amount which is remaining, which you want to give back uh, to the society. So we are trying to do a balance across these buckets where your needs are definitely met, not leading luxurious or ultra luxurious lifestyles, but you have your needs and goals met. We like traveling, so that's something which we will budget for and keep, we will then try and that is a and so therefore I'd say no, it's not a complete sacrifice for sure.
Okay. There are a few questions that are coming in. We will answer them once we finish the questions that had come to us at the start of it. So yeah. Okay, so did commitment to philanthropy mean a complete sacrifice on any other plans? Oh, sorry, did I just answer? We just answered that. Has your lifestyle changed after committing to giving back in any way? It says philanthropy, okay? Where I'm saying giving back, the question says philanthropy, but I'm not going to use that term. Are you content and happy with your current lifestyle, or do you miss anything? Can I take that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, very frankly, we have had literally zero change in our lifestyle. Like Hari said, both of us are extremely fond of creating experiences in terms of travels and tours that we do, going to new people, meeting, going to new places, meeting new people, and just understanding how other countries or other places have. Both of us are very, very into history as well. So we do plan a lot of our trips. When we didn't have kids around history, but no longer, so there's a gap in that. But no, so the very short answer is that no, our lifestyle hasn't changed. Um, we have never been of the kinds who have gone beyond the comfort of living. So never stopped buying or using things which we have always used. We just don't go beyond the comfort. We're not looking at a luxury lifestyle or I don't know, for the lack of a better word, for increasing the status of our living or anything, but it's we really haven't made any changes. The entire thing about living my promise, which is for me and for Hari, um, done what living my promise has done is that it has given us a structured way of thinking through how we lead our lives without giving up our responsibilities or the comfort. So in that sense, and both of us are the long term planning kind of people in terms of how we lead our lives. So it anything that puts structure in our lives makes it easy for us. So, yeah.
Just adding one thought on that. So since say we are pretty salaried employees in that sense, um, so it's about planning what you're saving. You've got saving for your retirement corpus or for your long-term planning, and then you have a certain amount which you are trying to contribute today, and you don't know how much you've not had a structure to how much you have been giving and to whom you've been giving today. So one is again, you've got saving from what your needs are, and out of those savings, how much are you putting away for investing for the future, and how much are you giving to help the society around you today? And of that saving for the retirement, are there any excesses which you think will happen for going and giving away later on as well?
So one thing I'll just, one aspect that we were thinking about and how that has changed the way we live is with respect to our kids. We have signed up, but given the age that they are in, there is no discussion that we can have with them or, run it past them to, so to speak, right? Because they are the next generation. So coming on, or who is going to follow on even after we leave. So one of the things that signing up for this or pledging for this has also made us do is to say, how do we consciously keep instilling or sharing how what we are doing, or how do we bring that consciousness with them from their young age itself. And that is something that when we grew up, the way we grew up is also saying that how do we make sure that we provide for ourselves. But given the state that we are in, we also want to instill that additional, which is very important, and that was very, very important for us to do. We want to instill one additional thing of saying, how do you also think about the others from this young age? And once it is this is our belief at least, that if it is ingrained at a younger age, then it lasts slightly longer in life. So that way, our lifestyle has changed in terms of how we are with the kids, in terms of sharing what we do as well.
No, I think also just coming back to the question of, since you're young parents, is it harder? Uh, so now that we are thinking of, now that we have made this pledge, actually it sets in stone, not stone, but it sets certain rules, or it sets in place already a conversation which we will have with our children. And in terms of expectation management, I think that is really, I think it makes it easier.
Right. Moving on to the next one. Do you think young couples such as yourself can commit? What advice you have for young couples or individuals who are inclined towards doing so?
Um, so firstly, I think young couples, again, this comes down. I think the people, I think many of us want to help society. I think as social animals, we want to give out, and most of us do want to contribute in some way. So I think that is something which is already there. You're not doing it in a planned way, in a structured way. We're not thinking about how much we are actually giving, and also what do we really want to give? Are we just giving in are we giving it in in response to something which has happened? I think that's what happens a lot of times. Somebody approaches you for a cause and then you give it, or some incident happens somewhere and you contribute towards that. But in terms of thinking, in terms of saying, oh, but what really moves you? What is it? What is that cause which really strikes a chord with you? Just, I think that this helps you kind of think along those lines and give a better plan around. I'm really passionate about this, so I want to make a difference in this. So,
So I'll just add in saying that there are two types of giving that all of us, actually two three types of giving that all of us have done. One part of it is the stakeholders who you work with. My team at home, for example, the help at home, or the people I interact with, whether it is my security, the person who irons our clothes, or whether it is even the garbage cleaners who I work with on an everyday to make sure that our roads are clean, our homes are clean. All of these people, and this is something that actually was instilled in me by Annabel Mehta, who who still heads or used to head Apnale. I'm not very clear what it is now, but Annabel Mehta had said that this is this is you coming from this point of view of giving, say, making sure that they continue to be committed to you or disciplined with you with the work that they do for you, which in a way is true. We do want to go, and it's also because you do know them, you do know that what where the money is going and how it's going to be used and so on and so forth. But it also comes from the point of view of what you are deriving from them as well, and going beyond what you're getting from them. Then there is what Harriet said in terms of others asking you for what they feel is a need and what they are kind of working towards. At no point in our normal lives we were also doing that. So even our own giving in the past, till Living My Promise happened, has ever been sitting down and saying that, hey, what is it that we feel most passionate for? We have never spent enough time just with between the two of us. We had never spent enough time to think through what is it that we feel more passionate about and what is it that we want to give for. I used to work with Give India, and I there was certain amount of giving that we used to do, but most of it was through Give India. Never focused on any cause. To some extent, I'm also cost agnostic. I'm also very cost agnostic. So I used to give across the board, but here and there with no real quantum or planning to saying how much should I give in a year, what percentage of it is in of my income or our income. It was never that. It was just that, okay, there you, I'm giving. That's it. So that's about it. But what this pledge itself has made us think through in saying that what is it that we are most keen about, what is it that we want to see change around us, and go beyond the point of saying these are the stakeholders that I know of, and this is where I can think through. I know I can see the difference that I'm making in, hopefully making in someone's life, versus saying this is what I most passionately feel about, and hopefully the small contribution that we make will take it a step forward in achieving that end goal as well. So that's where I feel living my promises added a great value in terms of just thinking through it. um, Really, I we're not the advice giving types, but
No,
just
we have given a lot of advice.
we just shared what we went through. But only thought is that only thought is that think through responsibilities and the standard of living that you want, like to lead, and then go from there. And what is it that you want to do beyond that?
Yes, one thing on that was my so uh, since I'm in the finance world, I'm aware that Warren Buffett said that he doesn't want to give away too much in his life because he believes it will compound and he'll be able to create a larger corpus to give away at the end. Versus giving away. So if you go and take that approach, then how much do you give now versus how much do you give at the end? And so I think one thing which came up with discussions with various people who helped us was that you want to be a part of the journey as well. You want to have you want to be able to, while you're contributing, see some of the impact that you're doing as well. And so there is part of that that you can give while you can save for giving away at the end.
So the last one, just we're coming pretty much to the end of it. So last one small request is that if you have any questions, and please ask questions and ask us why we are doing, and ask us anything that you want and throw it at us. But put it in the comments, and we will answer as best as we can. And do make sure that you're asking questions which we have also not thought through, so that gets us thinking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your experience so far with the giving back that you have done, and what are your learnings been so far? We just shared our views.
We covered a lot of this.
Yeah, it's been ad hoc. Earlier it was ad hoc. Now we are sitting and planning through.
It's become a bit more structured.
Yeah, it's a little more structured. We have kind of sat through and discussed for hours on end. Both of us actually work pretty much as a team and try to come up with a together plan, and never I want to do this, you want to do this kind of thing. We have spent many hours just discussing what is it that we want to do together. Because at the end of the day, the net worth is also together, mostly brought in by him. But so we have sat through and discussed and come up with things that we want to kind of contribute to. Not that our contribution is going to achieve the goal or anything, but where is it that we want to focus on, and kind of plan it through. So that's pretty much what we have done.
One point on that is I've spoken about the how to what causes and are we passionate about, but I think a lot of the inputs come from her because she's already in the space. So it has been easier in that sense. But having said that, I do want to give a shout out to the Living My Promise, all the pledge people who have already pledged, and the discussions we did have.
The meet.
We did have a meet in January where all of us met, and it was really useful to speak to a lot of the people, and I think it was really useful to get a perspective from there as well. So it's not like you're alone on this journey. It's not like you have to take a decision in silo. There are a lot of people to speak to. There are a lot of perspectives you can take before you come to a decision.
So yes, Venkat and Sushant, I am checking my WhatsApp, but this is the last question that we had on the list, so I'll move to the question that others have asked as well. So there's a question that Ghazal had asked, saying, did you come across any resistance from family who didn't like you moving away from regular goals and aims? Do you want to take that?
You should take that. I'm still You've taken the social sector as
Well, so a bit of context. When the idea was posed, um, so my I came from a background of where I had seen people, and I shared this over a period of time that there were a lot of people I came across who were minimalist, who had given away, like the doctor who used to take 2 rupees when I was young, and used to treat many people. And my dad was a minimalist, and he would not go beyond his basic needs. So things like that. So for me, when somebody, um, not somebody, Venkat, Venkat had posed this question saying that, this is what we're starting, and how many would be willing to do it. I just put my hand up saying that this is obvious. Why would we not do it? So, but obviously, I'm not the only decision maker here. So, came back and
I was the resistance.
So we had a discussion over not every day, but over 3 to 4 months, just the two of us talking about why we should do it and why we should do it, even make a public announcement of it. If you're doing it, we can do it without doing so, making it public, and all of that happened. But the decision was ours, like between the two of us, that we needed to make the decision, and that's how we did it.
Yeah.
And we did loop in the family and tell them about it, but more as this is what we're going to do with our own net worth, and what the thought process is, and sharing it with them more from the hope that we can rope in them to also do the same, because we have kind of reached a place where we have the comforts that we need, and hopefully will continue to have. And
Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of the pledge is also an intention. This is not to say, and we can do all the planning we want to, and things can happen which put paid to those plans. So yeah, I mean, but this is still an intention which we have at this stage with our plans.
yeah. So does COVID affect your sense of job and financial security? Are you worried about whether you will be able to continue with your giving plan? So the coronavirus is a scary thing. It does look like we will dip into some kind of, I'm not the better person in this. Hari is telling me that there can be a recession coming through. So it does have that. But given what our parents have given us, we're just hoping that we will be able to do some job, whatever it is, just to maintain what we have.
I think the question is a bit broader also. I mean, coronavirus or COVID is one instance of what can happen to your plans, right? I think it's a broader question on that.
Fair enough, yeah.
Right? I mean,
so you want to share what happened?
Yeah, various things can happen. 6 months ago, not 6 months, more than that, maybe 8 months
Last
ago.
August.
Yeah, August. So Archana had a fairly serious health condition at that point. So, and there was a chance she would not make it. So, in that sense, we would, and by then we had already signed up for the giving pledge. And the question came to me whether I would still continue on that path or not. And I was pretty clear that yes, I would. I would at that point carve out certain amounts. I mean, in the plan which I had in my mind, I would have still honored that pledge. I would still have gone ahead and given as much as I could to the pledge. So there are various things which can happen, and if financial security does take a hit, then the giving pledge or a giving plan will have to change. There's no doubt about it. This is flexible, this is fluid, but that is life.
Yeah, so we did do a bit of planning as well. Like we thought that given what happened, we also felt that if both of us are not around, then what will happen to the kids? So there are some backups that we have built, and we continue to work on it. But yeah, like he said, ups and downs are part of life.
To be very clear, I mean, the giving pledge will not come at the cost of our children getting education, or it is not going to compromise on our ability to give. It is not going to come at the ability to. It's not going to come at the ability of compromise on our ability to give care to our parents, for example, or it's not going to come at the expense of any of those responsibilities which we have. But I mean, things happen in life. I guess it's always uncertain.
Yeah. So I hope we were able to answer the questions so far. The next one is on what causes have you chosen to support and what kind of activities? Uh, yeah. So we have kind of looked at what we have today as our net worth. Again, both of us like Excel, so we did a bit of number crunching and did a very broad giving plan for the next 20 years. Not that everything will be exactly the same as was planned in the Excel sheet, but we have made a small plan in terms of what we want to do. What that helped us in saying is that splitting what we have as net worth today between what we are going to continue to build versus what has come to us, let's say from our relatives, from our parents, whatever it is. So what has come from others, we have set aside to causes that they were passionate about. May not have been vocally said, but we are having interacted with them very closely. We know what they want to do with it, so we have put it aside for that. In our terms, there are a few courses that we have spoken about, and the broad categories, and this is very broad category, is that we do want to see how the next generation can kind of have a better opportunity to lead a comfortable life. So, do you want to just articulate this better than I am doing it?
Go ahead. You do it,
Yeah.
sir.
So we're thinking of saying that how do we one part of it is just education for the children itself, and saying how do we make sure that the people who are coming from first generation learners or people who do not have the access to education uh, can come to a stage where people like you and me are, and be able to lead a comfortable life, like again. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is women. I do feel that across the world, or rather, we do feel that across the world, there is a fair amount of suppression that happens when it comes to women and not being able to come up in life as much as the men do in various aspects, whether it is livelihood, whether it is a normal life that they lead, or whatever it is. But at the type of giving or the type of and the third part of it was in terms of civic responsibility, like how each of us, and this is very very vague and very very broad, so we have to drill down. But we do feel that if each of us come forward and lead a life which is responsible, being conscious of the society that we live in, and be also lead a civic responsible life, then it would make a lot of difference to what the society is like, what the culture is going to be, and so on and so forth. So and this also came from the way that we are looking at our children and saying that how do we make good people out of them more than anything else, like how do we make them good humans more than anything else. And so, to be very frank, we changed the way because we have to set examples for the kids, and the kids would just follow us. We have changed everything that I mean, for me personally, I had to change a lot. So I had to unlearn a lot of things that I was doing in the past and relearn and do that myself. Like I would very very small example, but I would not jump a signal ever again because if I have to tell my kids that a red means red, I better do it myself. So yeah, so essentially civic responsibility, but that's a very very vague cause. We do need to figure out, drill down and understand where we want to contribute. We have not yet figured that out. The last part of it is in the kind of for the lack of a better word, the high risk high impact kind of giving that we want to do. A lot of us do give to causes where we can see the change happen, but we also want to try and see if we can apportion some where we may not be there to see the change actually happen, but can we invest in organization and people who are on the path to actually make the change that we cannot invest efforts in. So that's the kind of thinking that we've had so far. A lot more drill down and thinking through has to happen, but this is the stage where we are. Another, yeah, so if there are any more questions, do keep posting it on the comments, and we will try to answer them as best as we can. So the next question was, do you plan to write checks or get involved hands-on with the initiatives you support?
Good question.
Now that you got us to think through, that's a great question. So we do want to, give. When we say hands-on, I don't.
Yeah, so one thought is that the two need not be conflated, or they two need not be at exclusion to each other. Getting hands-on is possibly a part of any initiatives which wherever we can help out. So that I think is something which we would look to get involved in. But I think living my promise is a bit more. The pledge is a bit more to do on the financial aspect. It is not about in kind necessarily. It is more on the writing of the checks, but towards what end. I think that we can think about in terms of capability building, for example, is something which uh, is one of the things which is not maybe towards the end cause, but it's towards helping the organizations themselves. So that's the way I think about it. But in kind, definitely we would look to contribute. We would look to be a part. Archana is doing a lot of things with the community as well. So I think that we will definitely that'll continue to happen.
Yeah, so I will just add, I'm a bit of a control freak. So I do get involved wherever I can. But having said that, I'm also learning that if we are giving to somebody, they have their thought process on how to go about it, how they should be executing it, and what their vision is, and so on and so forth. So wherever we can, I would love to pitch in, but not in a way that intrudes into the work that they do, and having to change their entire way of working, and making it a regret of having even taken a contribution. So that's not where we will pitch in if there is a need. We will definitely want to be involved to the extent that we understand what's happening on the ground, but not beyond that, and very frankly. So, one more question is, your children are very young. What if they grow up and do not approve your decision to give back?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good question. It's an unknown, but what, as I said earlier as well, by taking this decision, it allows us to shape the conversation right now. It allows us to think about. It allows us to plan for having that discussion right now, and maybe try and mold them into the uh, future adults and responsible citizens of the society that we are hoping that they will be. So there, I think there's the other way would have been that you take the decision at a much later stage without having laid any of the groundwork, and then I think the question would have been maybe a lot more live. It would have been a lot more out of the blue, right? I mean, one day you just wake up and say that, well, you know, if not planned or not had this kind of a thought ever uh, before, then it can come as a rude shock. But right now, as you said that they are young, this conversation may so it allows us to lay the groundwork to have this discussion. So I think it's I'm hopeful that our children will see it the way we do.
Yep.
Can it right?
No, not really. So, those are the questions that had come through. We're always available. You can reach out to us anytime that you want to have a, I mean, if you want to argue with us and question as to why we did it, we're always available. Um,
Yeah, two things. One is that let age not be the criteria, let your intent be the criteria, and you're not alone in trying to take a decision list. We are there, and we are. We are there to discuss. We are there. A lot of the other pledge givers are there. So I hope that can
The
reach out.
more of you also start thinking about it. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. This is us coming to an end of our duologue. So that's about it. So yeah, happy weekend.
See you.
See ya.